Hello, I'm Theolyn. Here I am again with Signs and Wonders. Now, I don't want to frighten you away when I'm going to tell you the topic, and you can see that I'm feeling really jolly about it. The topic is the apocalypse. The apocalypse. Okay, so it has these connotations, that word. Apocalyptic is used to describe something really unpleasant or really heavy happening. And we get the word from the Greek texts, from the New Testament. We get them from the book of Revelation, the idea that there's going to be some kind of big end of time scenario, and it will be extremely unpleasant for most people. And there will be a few saved people who are taken up in a rapture, and then they come back to earth and everything's nice. That's roughly speaking the scenario. Now, the word used for this, apocalypse, comes from a Greek word which literally means the uncovering. And it's used in this religious sense as being a revelation of the heavenly secrets. We get to know something that makes sense of what's going on earth. So there's some kind of moment, right? That's how it works. And then the human beings who've been searching all these years for understanding of who they are, why they're here, all the philosophers, all the sacred teachings, are all dealing with, how can human beings live on this planet in some kind of sense of satisfaction, comfort, integration, and not feel alienated. This has been going on for generations. That's why we've got all these texts. And here we are being told that there will be a moment when we will see the light. Something will change, something will shift. Now, what's going on at the moment has provoked people to start using this word, apocalypse. Apocalyptic, the pandemic has provoked that kind of language. The end of times, one of the horsemen comes, I've forgotten which colour it is, but one of the horsemen comes and he represents pestilence, plague, COVID. So it feels as though we are going through something which is very heavy in the everyday sense of coping with being alive and keeping our social structures going and all those kind of things. So those times will feel dark and challenging. But the saying goes, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And every dark cloud has a silver or golden lining. And when the light bursts through, we start to see things in a new way. Something is revealed. Something has been uncovered that we didn't understand previously. So why might I look joyful about this possibility? Well, I think what is going on is a kind of apocalypse. And that during this period of time that people have had to suffer because they can't do this, that or the other that they used to, and they're desperate to get back to the normal way of doing things, people have started to experience a different way of thinking about what they do with their lives. So many people have begun to see, well, actually, rushing up and down the motorway in a car, for an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening or longer sometimes, it's not doing me any good. So from a personal point of view, there can be a real apocalypse, a real kind of, I don't have to do it like this anymore. Somehow it will work out. And some people may just stay in a state of fear about it, and the fear will keep the covering in place. It's when you release the fear, whoa, that's when you get the apocalypse. That's when you get to see oh, this is how it could be in a different way. And I think that that's what's going on. And all kinds of different ways of doing things. I don't know where you live, but certainly here in Britain, we're seeing that after this pandemic, practically every high street in every city in Britain will be boarded up. The shops will be boarded up because all the big stores are going down like ninepins. They were not doing very well before, and now it's suddenly boom. So complete transformation of the high street, as they call it, or the city centre, and all those grand shopping malls that look like cathedrals to commerce. I even commented on one quite a few years ago that had been built, I think it was in Bristol, where they'd actually got a rose window in the shopping mall. So it definitely did look like a cathedral. And what's going to happen? The retailers are all going out of business. Those great cathedrals will be empty. Maybe people will go back to them and kneel down and do their meditations or sit on their yoga mats and chant, and they'll be transformed into spiritual centres. That would be great, wouldn't it? So this is the opportunity for an apocalypse. An opportunity for saying, okay, the old normal is not what we want for the new normal. We're going to transform the way we do things. And in the process, we will save ourselves, and we'll all have a rapturous future. We can save ourselves, and we can save our planet, Mother Earth, because everything's up in the air. All the playing cards have been thrown up, like Alice. She sees the light at the end of the story, Alice in Wonderland. You're nothing but a pack of playing cards, she says, but she just throws them in the air. And that possibility of throwing the bricks, the bricks or the whatever image you want to use, but all the structures being reworked and remodelled, redesigned, is a huge opportunity for humanity. And I have to say, it saddens me, but there are certain countries in the world who won't take that on because they've got so entrenched in the way they do things. But I think there are a lot of countries where the people who look to taking responsibility from within, rather than being told what to do from without, countries where most people are willing to take that on, if they take it on seriously, with dignity, with commitment, with dedication to saying, yes, it can be different and I want to be involved with that, that's when things will change. It takes a large number of people, but a small number of people in proportion to the number of people that there are on this planet. Very small. So get involved in any way you can. See the light, meditate, see the light within, bring the light out. Because that's what meditators can do. Meditators can experience this immense light energy that will just fill you with joy and bliss when you meet it. And then you'll know, you'll have your own inner apocalypse. Things will be uncovered. Things will be revealed. And you will start to understand the connection, the total reflected and directed light that is going on all the time between who you are inside and what is meeting you on the outside. That's the revelation. Heaven's secrets revealed and make sense of what's going on the earth. And when they come together, there's what the alchemists would call a sacred conjunction of the opposites and a sacred marriage of the opposites. And I do think that that's something implied at the end of the book of Revelation, when the figure of Jesus as the Christ comes and takes a bride. And there is a kind of marriage there of the heavenly and the earthly, so that there's a new kingdom. It's called a kingdom, thy kingdom come, but it's not necessarily a kingdom. The king and the queen are equals in this process. So the inward and the outward come together. And when we see how that works, well, there we go. Keep meditating. See the light. Bring the light into the world through your actions, through your service, through your love. Many blessings and love to you.